I gotta be honest with you, invisible people, I just graduated from film school and I still don't see the production companies offering me millions of dollars to make my funny little movies. Maybe I should check my spam folder. I mean, this is Germany, so maybe they send letters and those are gonna take a bit longer to arrive. I wasn't in any way prepared for this possibility, so now that I have a little bit of time while I wait for the letters with the offers to arrive, maybe I should come up with an alternative plan. I can always go and explain my script ideas to people in the main square, but I think I would at least wait for summer before that. When I got accepted into film school, to be honest, I didn't even know what a director did. I didn't know anything about the industry. But I was just ready to finally dive into this passion of mine. And so, armed with my precious Canon M50 and a lot of hope, I dived into the world of film. And for 4 years, I had the chance to learn everything while making movies with my friends.
Do you want an upside down kiss or something?
No! From your wife?
In my class, you could find people who recently graduated high school, as well as people who were already running their videography businesses, people working already in the industry, and also people coming from completely different fields and doing this purely because of passion. I met the most creative people I had met in my entire life, and I saw what they were doing outside of any industry, outside of any concept of product or profit, merely for fun. And I have never seen people working this hard in any other field, and that love, that passion is infectious. To say the least, I was tremendously inspired. I don't want to talk too much about my experience in film school because that's a whole different topic, but I quickly got to see firsthand a very simple truth about the film industry, which is that making films and working in the industry are two very different things. And now that I have nothing in front of me except the real world, it is painfully apparent that the conflict between work and creativity is still very present, and not just for me but for my peers and my friends too. Film school gave me many things, but a connection, a bridge between a stable job and creativity wasn't one of them.
And I'm an NYU film school graduate, sucker!
And that is where the question comes into play. Do I want to be part of the film industry or do I want to make films? Are they not the same thing? Can they coexist? We'll see. I have had the chance to peek into the film industry, at least in Germany, and it is full of wonderful and incredibly passionate people that don't get paid nearly enough for what they do. But at the same time, going into the film industry means that you're going to be working on somebody else's project for most of your career.
If it's not gonna be symmetrical, it's not going in the movie! I'm Wes Anderson! I made the Grand Budapest Hotel! You think I can't your wife?
It is also incredibly taxing to work on a set. If you do it once or twice a year because you're shooting your own projects, I think that makes sense. That would be great. That would be ideal. But of course, that is a perk that only a few have, since most people have to be jumping project to project so they can, afford things. If you want to tell your own stories, if you want to direct or write, you're kind of stuck waiting online. That doesn't really guarantee anything. Of course, that makes sense. Why would someone give a 20-something-year-old thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of euros to make who knows what? It feels like for aspiring writers and directors, the trade comes down to giving away your time while waiting, hoping that someday it is going to be your turn to tell the story, or maybe you will meet the right person in the right position to push your project. Someone in the crowd could be the one you need to know. And with an industry every time more scared of the new and embracing safe bets, it looks like the already limited chances are diminishing even more. I don't think it's too crazy to say that while working on sets, I would look at the people around me, the ones doing it full time, and analyze them as possible templates for my own future. And without trying to be mean, what I saw scared me a little. Some people didn't seem to have the passion anymore while being a bit stuck in an industry that isn't developing into anything else for the foreseeable future. It feels like the chip you need to start gambling in this industry is your entire life. Money is always part of the conversation. Of course, the industry moves in the spaces where the money allows it to. And even though here in Germany we have the luck to have a lot of state funds depending on each Bundesland or state, the German industry creates content for the majority of the population who are paying the public TV tax, which is middle-aged men and women who watch mostly the same type of crime shows. It is only fair, of course, to make the product for the one paying, and I would even argue that this is a good case scenario. Having the public paying directly for the public television makes it kinda party independent. You take it out of the politics a little bit, but coming back to film, this system creates a clear disconnect between the young creatives wanting to make something new and exciting, experimental, and the objective of the industry to just get the money and fulfill the basic need for entertainment and content. Just because of the nature of the system, film is a product first and entertainment second, not leaving a lot of space for film being a form of art or even for ideas that aren't Moana live action 2 XD Pro Max, it seems like.
I won't turn back.
This is a lot of complaining, but bear with me, this whole video is an exploration of alternatives to the current system for the individual filmmaker, or a cope, if you will. So now if that was the industry, what is making movies? What is the art of it? What is the other side that I have been talking about? Well, the other side is all of these people paying for movies out of pocket. The other side is all of these people working on projects for free, for the love of the medium. The other side is not compromising your film or your idea to make it a better product. Your other side is finally just thinking about the film as film and not as a product first. Of course, usually for this side there isn't that much money, or access to it is hard and competitive. But you know what? Again, I think that's fair. I'm not gonna make you pay for my 5-hour long 4x3 black and white with grain Latin American slow character driven magical realist explorative indie movie. But let's also not pretend like there isn't a space in the industry for something like that if I am a nice little boy and I work in the industry for 35 years, okay? I am also aware that we basically pick the most logistically nightmarish, most expensive form of art, that much is clear. Why couldn't I just like drawing?
You cannot be completely fragile because then you won't make movies. You could just become a poet or a painter, you know? Because a filmmaker is never going to die and they're going to find a drawer full of movies that he never did. And oh my God, and it's going to be on DVD and Blu-ray. It won't be, you know? You have to be a tough motherfucker to get into the business side and fight.
So let's say you don't see a creative future for yourself in the industry, you don't accept the bargain of trading your whole life for a maybe, but it's clear that you will continue making films through whatever means necessary. Then you still have to answer some questions, especially the money question. How are you gonna support yourself financially? And what are you gonna do with your films? How are you gonna make your films? How are you gonna pay for your films in the first place? And at this point I wanna talk about Joel Haver.
I'll get on my soapbox about independent filmmaking for a second because I love that crap so much.
He's been uploading and making a living out of YouTube and his filmmaking for a while now, and he's the perfect counterexample to the film industry. The guy made one feature-length film per month last year. One of them was also called The Diarrhea Brothers.
We're a family business. We're sweetheart boys that bring you your diarrhea. Like the milkman.
I am already struggling making this video, and he made 12 full feature films last year and they are actually good. It's not like he just cut some bullshit together and called it a film. One of them was a stop motion film, for fuck's sake. And when I say that he is the counter argument to the industry, I'm also not really making that up.
For the last 4 years, I've been doing a live stream during the Oscars, a sort of competitor live stream.
He himself started a challenge making a feature-length film during the Oscars as a form of protest against the industry, or more to encourage creativity and filmmaking outside of the industry.
The Oscars are just as worth watching as a guy taking a bath.
His first films during the challenge were really funny, but clearly improvised and technically resembled more a live stream or a YouTube video. I mean, of course, this is a hard thing to accomplish, but year after year he got so good at it that at this point it's difficult to really notice that he shot the movie in 3 hours. As you have noticed, I am very inspired by him and his work. I even successfully went through the challenge of making a movie during the Oscars with a friend myself, and I really like the result. I'm gonna leave the link in the description if you're curious.
Defeat our common enemy,
Alcoholism.
alcoholism. We have to fight with sticks to the death or till some stick breaks.
Alright.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fuck you!
Alcoholism. So this is the template for creative freedom outside of the industry. This is the template for success outside of the industry. Finding and creating a community online that inspire each other into making movies and creating things And through this community, hopefully, you're able to support yourself financially. Honestly, such a community and outlet would be great even if you're not paying your bills through it. That's basically what film school was. He also talks openly about how everyone can just make a movie. He encourages everybody to try and not to get stuck questioning gear or money or perfection or even scripts, opting for a more organic approach of improvising bullshit on screen. And while he deserves his success, when looking up at success stories, we always have to remember.
Bo, how do I get into the business? How do I accomplish what you've accomplished? What's your advice for young people?
I'd say, well, you gotta just take a deep breath and give up. The system is rigged against you. Your hard work and talent will not pay off.
That's it. Good night, everybody.
I would say don't take advice from people like me who've gotten very lucky. You know, we're very biased. Like Taylor Swift telling you to follow your dreams is like a lottery winner saying, liquidize your assets, buy Powerball tickets. It works.
Yeah.
You will get, you won't.
Also, if we are being honest, Joel's feature films come as a natural follow-up to his interest in the medium of film, but he didn't really start there. I'd say he has come to have his place on YouTube thanks to a catalog of funny sketches going back like 10 years. Even though his movies are becoming more popular, originally I would say he tapped into the community he has now by playing the game of the algorithm with content. When you put it like that, it just sounds kinda awful and bland and fake. And even though I can't really guess his intentions, I'd say his growth and evolution on YouTube was very organic and symbiotic. Right place, right time, right interest. And now that he's interested in making feature films, he hasn't compromised his movies to make them fit in the algorithm better. But he played the game with the sketches, gaining an audience that eventually led him to have the freedom to create what he wanted. Despite the fact that the social media billionaires are sucking us dry of our attention, morality and sanity to sell us Tupperware, there are also some useful tools at our disposal with these massive social platforms. And I can't believe I'm saying a single good thing about social media, but it is incredibly convenient to be able to put your work out there and maybe create a community that is interested in what you're doing. So after being so critical, pessimistic and pragmatic about this industry and the art of film, the one that we all love so much, I want to continue by exploring the possibilities given the state of affairs. This is the plan. The plan is to encourage creativity and creation without waiting for a chance in the industry. The objective is the films themselves and the process, to engage in communities with the same interests and share with others your abilities and your passions, and if things go well, then you'll join the industry in more equal terms, not like a dog waiting for a bone. This video is my 6 subscriber special, so take it with a grain of salt, everything that I say. But it is basically my internal monologue trying to make sense of how to proceed after film school without hating life. I want to make videos and I want to make films, even if it's silly pee-pee poo-poo jokes or whatever ideas I get. Even if I don't win an Oscar, even if I don't get 100 million, trillion, trillion, 3 jillion views, that much is clear. For me, making movies beats the industry every time. The necessity for the sacrifice is still there though, unless I win like 18 million euros soon. But I don't consider being next to a camera in a professional set success, which seems to be what the industry is offering me, so I'll work somewhere else for the moment, and that's okay. The industry has made all the films that ignited the passion in me. It's fair to say that I will always look at it with inspiration and aspiration. But coming to accept that making films and the industry are far away from being the same thing has given me room to breathe and create and move in a direction where the sacrifices I make feel more intentional and measured to my circumstances. So, do you have a job? What?
I'm watching Anderson! If it's not gonna be symmetrical, it's not going in the movie!